Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're now here to continue going through our main Heavensward main story questline. So, hello, salutations. I don't know how he's not attacking me, but alright. So, we'll just need to switch my keys over. There we go. Alright. Take care of this dude real quick. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, we're just continuing our story quest line here. The Warriors of Darkness are trying to get the Beastmen to summon more of their false gods, and so then they can trigger the rejoining of the worlds and help the Asians. So we're not here to allow them to do that, so we're going to stop it. So, yeah. Yep. So here we are. Alright, destination. Though you cast about for a time, you see no sign of the crystals. Oh yeah, and this little kobold here, or Gabi. I forget if he's kobold or Gabi, but he's trying to save his parents from the false god. So, yeah. Alright. Alpha Note says, "Confound it. What about you, Nyra? Any luck?" No luck for me. Gabu says, Nothing. But this cannot be. Gabu saw them. Spotted, saw." Eliasir says, "Think, brother, think. They must have moved them, yes? The question is, where to and why?" Alphina goes, "Within Ogoromoro, where they summoned Titan once before and mean to do so again. It is the only explanation." Gabu says, "What about mother and father and the others? We have to help them." Eliasir says, "And we will, Gabu. We will. Stay calm. We still have time." Alphinaud says, "They have yet to call for the remaining crates, yes? If they had, then they would have found the other caches empty and sounded the alarm. Nevertheless, I believe the time for stealth is past. We must breach the navel and seize the remaining crystals. There is no other way to prevent Titan summoning. But first, give me your crystals, that I might deliver them to Commander Borelden's custody. We dare not take them into the bowels of the mountain." He has a point. Alright. Hey, Elfnald. Elfnald continues. "The crystals, Nyra, if you would be so kind." Yeah, here you go. 2 caches of crystals. Elfnald says, "Thank you. I should deliver them to Camp Overlook for safekeeping and brief Commander Bloiden on the situation. Pray, go on ahead. As I recall, there is an aetheryte within the Gahamariel mines that should deliver you to the navel. Gabu doubtless knows the way. Wait for me there. I shall rejoin you anon." Alize says, "Strange. I wouldn't have thought you eager to remain in the thick of the action, but if this is what you would prefer, then Godspeed, brother." Gabu says, This way. Alright, let's go. Alright. Down we go. Oh, I need to kill that. Alright, looks like we need to hang a right up here. Oh. Alright, we can go this way. Okay, and we should be able to come over here. Go. This way. And then it should be on our right. Kind of. Excuse me. Okay. Oh, so I went past it. Oh. Here. Yep. Right through here. Nope. Past it again. There we go. She says, I take it this is the aetheryte we seek. Right then. As soon as Alphinaud arrives, we go. I trust you're feeling suitably heroic, Nyra. There's no telling what sort of resistance we'll face in there. Second Order Patriarch Zada says, quickly, you clods. Briskly, swiftly, quickly. I will not suffer any further delays. We three just appear. Alphinaud says, lay down your arms and surrender. We have your crystals. There will be no summoning this day. Second Order Patriarch Zada says, Overdwellers here? But how did... Gobbler says, where are my parents, Patriarch? Where are they? Uh-oh. Are they... Are they dead? They're just lying there. I don't know. Gobbler's mother? Father? Alize says, choke for the furnace, you monster. How could you? Second Order Patriarch says, Zada says, we are but servants of the Lord of Crags. We are his, that he may drink of our blood and partake of our flesh, that he might draw upon the strength of his children and defend them from the tyranny of the overdwellers. Alphinaud says, no, Alize, not yet. Alphinaud continues, I understand, Patriarch. I do. Your fear, your anger, your hate. You would do anything to protect your people, anything to deliver them from despair. Whatever it takes to ensure that those who threaten you can never do so again. But in your single-minded pursuit of this objective, you have brought suffering to your own kith and kin. You have sacrificed the lives of the very people you sought to protect. But it need not be this way, Patriarch. Renounce this bloody course. Cease your attempts to summon your god, and work with us together to build a lasting peace. Second Order Patriarch Zada says, another peace to be abandoned at the Overdweller's convenience. Oathbreakers, all of you. Liars, betrayers, oathbreakers. You take and you take and you take. And when you have had your fill, you sue for peace. You promise that this time is the last time until you grow hungry again. And when we dare to defend ourselves, you declare that this beast tribe cannot be suffered to live. That our God drains the land of ether and brings naught but suffering, death, destruction, suffering upon us all. I will hear no more lies from you and yours, Overdweller. You've ruined your own lands. You'll not ruin ours. Gabu says, I said I'd come for you. I did. And I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Gabu continues, say something, please. 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 Uh-oh. Gabu says, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up! Don't think that's why he wanted to wake up. Uh-oh. Alpha Note says 7 hells. Gabu says, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Odyssey says, Alpha Note! Alpha Note says, leave it to me. He threw his carbuncle at it on his face. Alpha Note says, we must away. Okay, Alize and Gabu just teleported away. And then Nyra. Alpha Note. Okay, there goes Alpha Note. Just teleported away. Left the carbuncle to die. Alright. We are outside, and Alpha Note says, by the 12! How could I be so foolish? I should have known better than to let Gabu accompany us, given what we are like to find. His anguish and despair have served to birth a primal, just as surely as would the supplications of the faithful. Worse, a being born of such tumultuous emotion, this incantation of Titan seems incapable of naught but violence. If we have one cause for optimism, it is that while many crystals were present, they represented but a fraction of the quantity intended for the summoning ritual. Meaning that Titan must be far weaker than planned. Be that as it may, he is yet a primal, and the longer we leave him to bleed the land of ether, the stronger he will grow. And should Titan be permitted to leave, Gormoro, more lives will be lost. The Maelstrom will rally their troops, and the cycle will continue. Nyra, you know what must be done. Will you face the Lord of Craigs once more? Yeah, I'll go take care of it. Alphno says, thank you, my friend. Alize and I will tend to Gabu. When you have finished with the primal, look for us in Camp Overlook. We will be expecting you. Okay. Let's switch. So much coughing this morning. Sorry. Huh. Alright, the naval hard is what we get to do today. Oh, looks like a 20-minute wait. Well, let's see here. You. It's a trial. Oh, it says it wants healers on trials. Let's see if DPS will do any better. Okay, this is 5 minutes on deeps, so let's see. I think while we wait for that, I'm going to go check on things. See if I've sold anything here. Let's see here. Ethernet. Hawker's Alley. Alright. Let's see here. Please excuse their, they're not, yeah. Complete. Confirm. Side venture. 18 hours, yeah, okay. We'll sign that one. We'll definitely take that deal. Let's see what we're selling again. Right. Okay. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Oh wow. 7,000, huh? Does it really sell for that? No. We'll do 725. Never did use those. Oops. Oh. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Hot chocolate? Nice. Seems like a lot. Let's just do 11. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do 50. Okay. Yep. Quit. We'll check the other one. Okay. Cool. 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 Now, field expedition with it. Okay, right. What level is she now? Oh, she's 31. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Duration 1 hour. That's not what we want to do. What was the last one? Oh, yeah, okay. Average item level. Okay. So she needs gear is what she needs. Okay. What's she wearing? Okay. Level 8 stuff. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Grab that. Crap. Oh, shoot. What was she again? You, dear, are... Right, okay, you're a pug list. Okay, makes sense. Actually, I should just check to see if I have any gear in my inventory. I'm just being weird. I'm sorry. Army chests. Here we go. Let's see here. 31, 40. Don't particularly look like it. 35. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's better than what she's wearing. 35. Okay. Makes sense. Pants. Slightly better than what she's got. Okay. Shoes. Okay, do we have any other stuff? I think it's better than none. 4, 60, 60. Alright. Nick. $50, 60, 38. That's 29. Oh. Can't tell with a dirty reminder. Okay. Alright, commence. We're waiting on a deeps. Alright, here we go. Oh, gotta get out of that. Ow. God, he did that. Alright. I want to hit him from the backside. Alright. Side for twice. Oh no, this is the side. There we go. Oh, hitting him with the wrong button. Oopsie. Hey, come on. Target him. Come here. Oh. Thought we were supposed to hide behind it. Oops. Why am I having such a hard time tab targeting him? Sheesh. Keep hitting the wrong keys. Dang it. Here we go. Ooh. There we go. That was a cool looking portrait. Yeah, I know. It's supposed to be how well they did, not what the portrait looks like. Still, hey, you know. Alright. Not too bad. Alright, so let's go on over and turn that in. Ah, there they are. Alphinold. Alphinold says, "Ah, there she is. Did I not tell you she would return safe and sound? The deed is done then. Titan is no more?" Nod. Alphinold says, "Good. There has been enough tragedy this day." We all turn to Gabu, and Alphinold says, "He has been like that since he regained consciousness. We believe he can hear us, but he has made no attempt to respond." It's grieving. "He is almost certainly still in shock, but we cannot discount the possibility that he succumbed to the primal's influence. Should that prove to be the case..." Alice says, "He must not be put to death. Like any other thrall. Such is the Alliance's policy, yes? Or he must be put to death like any other thrall. Such is the Alliance's policy, yes?" Alphinold says, "You have the right of it. But we must not rush to conclusions. After all, we once feared that Ysael's followers were beyond reason, and many have since laid down their arms and accepted Ishgar's peace." Alice says, "We can't but watch, wait and pray." Alright. Alphinold continues, "There is naught to be gained from dwelling on an eventuality over which we have no control, much less one which may never even come to pass. Let us tend to more immediate matters, informing Commander Boaden of Titan's demise, for example. You may be certain that he will be glad of the news. Would you be so kind as to break it to him?" Yeah, I'll take care of that. Oh, it's over there. Okay. There we go. "Hail, Commander. The Titan is done for." He took care of it. Boaden says, "Ah, you're a sight for sore eyes. When the others came back without you, I feared the worst. But they said you had matters well in hand." "Yep. Sure did." Boaden continues, "All settled then, is it? I'm glad to hear it. But not half as glad as my men will be, believe you me. Regardless of whether or not he was summoned properly, a primal's a primal, and there ain't a soul in the Maelstrom that hasn't lost a friend or to one. Don't get me wrong, we were all prepared to do our part, but we weren't so naive as to think we'd live to tell the tale. Thankfully, of course, It didn't come to that, which, my friend, it sounds to me like cause for celebration. Now, I know you lot have places to be, but why not stay the night? We'd be honored to raise a glass to the triumphant return of Titan's Bane. Alright, alright.
Who goes there?
Just me.
Oh, it's you. Forgive me for straying from the camp. He hasn't been feeling too welcome, to say the least. I thought a change of scenery might do him good. But, alas.
Yeah.
It's so quiet out here. The stars spread out before us, beckoning across time and space. Dawn may banish even the darkest night. How bitterly beautiful, those words. I should be stronger for all my experiences. Yet my heart aches more than ever. I never understood why Grandfather gave his life that day. I thought that if I came here, I would find the answers I needed. But when I finally laid eyes on the land he sacrificed everything to save, saw firsthand the bickering, the pettiness, I was disappointed. I was angry. I could not fathom how these people were more deserving of his love than his family, than me. Nevertheless, I had to believe he had good reason. I was determined to uncover the whole truth of the calamity and, perhaps in so doing, find my own purpose in this sea of chaos. My travels have been enlightening, but I cannot say that I have enjoyed them. I have lost count of the many petty crises that I was helpless to resolve and of the people whose actions I could not understand. There were others, of course. Good people. People with whom I felt a kinship, whose lives I could not save. I found myself asking what it was all for. Why try if I was doomed to fail in the end? But then I recalled Grandfather's words to my father, years ago, before he left Charlayan behind forever. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. We must all protect that which we hold most dear in the manner of our own choosing. We have to try, do we not?
Yeah.
Of course, it's one thing to try and another to do. There were times while I was tracking the warriors of darkness when I faltered, when I was afraid. But then I thought of my brother, of Urianger. Oh, pray forgive me. This conversation has been rather one-sided, hasn't it? Mayhap you could recount some of your adventures in Ishgard.
What will I say? 1. I travel far and wide with 2 companions, Estidian and Michelle, who were very... Okay. And 2, under some rather unique circumstances, I had the pleasure to fight alongside Sir Amalric. Or 3, when Alphinold and I came at last to the Dravonian hitherlands. What should I pick? 1, 2, or 3? Any suggestions? I think I'll pick 3.
We had no clear memories of our life in the hinterlands, having returned to the motherland as infants. Nevertheless, I am quite familiar with Master Matoya, as is every Charlene. I should like to speak with her someday. 'Twould not surprise me if Alphino's recent maturation was at least somewhat due to her sage guidance. I would never tell him this, of course. But there have been moments when I've caught myself thinking of him as an elder brother. The hopes and dreams of so many rest on your shoulders, warrior of light. As long as the sun rises, we can but carry on, for the sake of those we hold dear.
Alphinold, sneaking up behind us. That is the Warrior of Darkness. Or at least one of them. And that dude looks like Orionge.
To what end dost thou cling to the tainted gifts of the mother?
Yeah.
Every tool has its purpose. Even this. Well, what is it?
The seeds sown in Vilbrand have been plucked from the earth and left to wither. Alas, Titan's demise sufficed not to drive the kobolds to deepest desperation.
What did the man in white have to say?
That we are to proceed as he did first set forth.
Well, that's easy for him to say. It's not his bloody world on the brink of destruction, is it?
Be thou well reminded that with an end to Ishgard's unrest, naught now remaineth to preoccupy the Scion's thoughts. And thus may they devote their every energy to thwarting thee and thine. I foresee only greater difficulties ahead.
Foresee? Are you sure you don't welcome them? I'm starting to think you might hold a candle for your old friends after all.
Ah, your old friends.
Pray do not mistake mine intent. I but look upon the path which lieth before us with due trepidation. Shouldst thou be of like mind, pray consider then another course. For the power to invoke the ardor belongeth not unto the Ascians alone. With thine own hand strike down thine enemy, the so-called hero who would see thy home lost to light. Do but this, and thou wouldst at a single stroke disrupt the all-too delicate balance of this realm, plunging her straightways into chaos.
You do realize what you're suggesting, yes?
To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. The words of my teacher, and a creed I hold close to my heart.
Interesting.
Very well. Draw her out. We'll make it quick.
It shall be done. What good a creed one cannot uphold? What hurts soothed? What lives saved? Oh, hapless fool, what hast thou wrought by thine own hands? Minfilia, my friends, I shall not now beg your forgiveness. Full deeply though it paineth me to walk it, I shall not stray from my chosen path. As Moonbreeder remains steadfast, so too shall I.
Wow. Hey, Offnote says, "Whoa, Nyra. I trust you had a good night's rest." Yeah. Alphanote continues, "I was but this moment speaking with Thancred and Ishtola via Link Pearl. They had some interesting news to share. Apparently, during the course of their respective investigations, both came across crates which had once bore Ishgardian seals. 'Twould seem that someone in the capital has been very busy indeed. Accordingly, the Temple Knights have launched a full-scale investigation. Sir Emmerich believes that it is only a matter of time before the culprits are found, but we shall have to wait and see. In the meantime, it seems only prudent to look into the recent activities of the other tribes, in case they too are flush with Ishgardian crystals. And with that in mind, I suggest we play Urionge another... Wait, where is Elise? She was here a moment ago with Gabu. Yeah, where is she? Oh, there she is. Okay, yeah, there's Gabu. Hey, Alize. Ooh, Petsy. Alize says, let me guess. It's time to leave, isn't it? Yep. Alize continues, my apologies for disappearing again. If it is any consolation, I have already packed my things. Elfnote says, how is he? Alize says, brother, Commander Bloden, something tells me you are not solely here out of concern for his welfare. But to answer your question, there has been no change. He will not speak or eat. I am not even sure if he slept. If he did, he seems none the better for it. He just shuffles about with that same expression on his face. Alize continues, you will look after him, won't you, Commander, and treat him with every kindness. He's still in there, I know it. Beneath the anguish and the despair, he's still fighting with all his heart. He deserves to be given that chance until he comes back to us, until we know for certain what has become of him. Bloden says, aye, you needn't worry. If he hadn't risked his neck to warn us and help you secure the better part of the crystals, this could have turned out a damn sight worse than it did. We'll not soon forget that, and nor will Maelstrom Command. Alice turns back to Gabu and kneels down in front of him. I'm so sorry, Gabu. I truly am. You should never have been made to. And I know I cannot possibly understand. Mayhap there is nothing I can do or say. The pain, the anger, the helplessness. Hold fast to the memories of better times. Remember them as they were. And when it hurts so much your heart feels fit to burst, let it burst. Let it burst. And fill up again with your love for them. And never, ever forget. Bolden says, come along, little one. Gabu says, I will remember them. And you, Alice, thank you. He spoke. And then he goes silent. Oh. Elfinold says, have faith, sister. Your words have reached him. In time, he will recover. And those who orchestrated these events will be made to answer for their crimes. Alice says, 1,000 times over, there will be a reckoning. Oh, yeah. Alright, now up to the Waking Sense. Alright. Oops. There we go. I swear I can fly. Really? Ugh. Okay, I understand if you don't believe me. Orionje. Yeah, different change of clothes. Orionje says, We have heard the glad tidings from Orgomoro, my friends. By the grace of the 12 and your most valiant efforts, the people of Numincia may rest easy. Alphinaud says, I'd like to think so, yes. Though we failed to prevent the Lord of Craigs from manifesting, we did succeed in weakening him, enabling our friend to dispatch him before the warriors of darkness could make matters worse. 'Twas by no means an unmitigated success, but it will have to suffice. Orionje says, Then let us speak of another matter, one which weigheth heavy on my lady's mind. He turns to Alize and continues, As thou didst request, I sought out the Giron oracles, that we might better understand the aims of the warriors of darkness. Though their copious use of allegory defieth any single interpretation. The oracles paint a most disturbing picture. One of worlds parallel to our own, apart yet linked, reduced to ruin with every umbral calamity. Alpha Note says, 7 times have they succeeded. Then of 10 and 3, only 6 worlds remain. Orion J says, Aye, all is as my lady Menthilia spoke unto thee. As for what becometh of these reflections when they and the source are rejoined, frail flesh undone in umbral fires, each soul sundereth to her call, or each soul surrendereth to her call, to flow onto the endless sea, there to endure as one and none. Alize says, Then if the warriors of darkness succeed, everyone in their world will die? Orion J says, In essence, aye. The verse speaketh of the reunification of the flesh, and subsequent return to the life stream. However, this fate may yet be preferable to the alternative, for if the first were to fall to transcendent light in the manner the words of darkness described, it would give way onto a void wherein none may know either life or death. Far better to die, there isn't, for in death there is life, the essence of a soul which returneth unto the source may be born anew, saved. Such, at least, is their belief, I surmise. Alpha Note says, If that is true, then, gods, no one should ever have to make such a choice. Orion Joy says, Ere we speak further on the subject, I would share with thee another recent discovery. 'Twould seem that several sizable shipments of crystals have been delivered into the hands of certain Alamegian parties. Alpha Note says, Alamegans? Strange. And you believe this to be the work of this same Ishgardian smugglers who supplied the beast tribes? Orionja says, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, and lest thou wonder at their motive, I would remind you that the Asians did once attempt to bring about the summoning of Rilgar. The individuals who took receipt of these shipments are refugees belonging to a group devoted to the cause of Alamegian liberation. It may also interest thee to know that their Ishgardian suppliers appear to be none other than the remnants of Elun Ruli's network of spies. Alpha Note says, Surely you jest. And yet, it is not surprising. Bereft of leadership and hunted by the Alliance, I can well imagine such villains being desperate enough to... Oops. That did not make me click that. Okay. Alpha Note continues. All of which is irrelevant. Forgive me. We must seek out the resistance group which received the crystals without delay. Nyra, Alize, will you come with me to Little Alamigo? Yeah, we'll come. Alize says, Of course. I should like to hear what they have to say for themselves firsthand. Orionje says, may you ever walk in the light of the crystal. Alphinaud's gained a link pearl. It is Thancred, and he says, Alphinaud, Alisaie, Nyra, are you three listening? Good, I have tidings. The Temple Knights raided the smuggler's warehouse less than an hour ago. A cursory interrogation of the prisoners yielded confirmation that they were in the employ of, and I hope you're sitting down, a man in black robes. Alphinaud says, then you have them, and the crystals too. Thancred says, what few remained, regrettably, it would seem they dispatched one final shipment in the hours before we struck. 'Twas bound for Little Alamigo, we are told, where it will be received by members of a local resistance group. Since Sir Amaric's men no longer have need of my services, I have a mind to head that way. Alphinaud says, as do we. By a happy coincidence, we learned of the shipments but a few moments ago. Thancred says, ha! And there I was thinking I might finally be one step ahead of the Warrior of Light and her little helpers. Oh, wait a moment. There's more. And I defy you not to be surprised by this revelation. The leader of the Ishgardian smugglers was formerly in the employ of one Elaine the infamous Ivy herself. Alphinaud says, once again, Thancred, I fear I must inform you that... Alisaie says, Thancred, with whom else have you shared this information? Thancred says, about the smugglers, no one, as I think I mentioned the raid was less than an hour ago. I was planning to contact Y'shtola next, but is there someone else you would have me notify first? Alisaie says, no, there isn't. Alright. Alphinaud continues. What in the world has gotten into her? It is twice now that we have sought Orionge's aid, and twice she has treated him as if he were a stranger. The Archon was one of Grandfather's most dedicated pupils, and spent as much time at the Lulifer estate as we did. He is practically a member of the family. Truth be told, I struggle to recall a day from my childhood when I did not see the three of them laughing together. If this continues, I may have to raise the matter. Later, though, little Alamigo awaits. Alright, let's teleport. Little Alamigo. Here we go. Okay. Oh, it's right here. Alisaie, she says, I will get to the bottom of this. Oh, forgive me, it has been a long day. Did you have something to say? Orionge? Oh. I've always struggled to understand what's going on in his head. Now, more than ever. Listen, Nyra, if anything should happen, it should be me who... Just know that I am prepared to do what must be done. Right then. To more pressing matters, since we have no idea when Thancred might arrive, I suggest we see what information we can gather in his absence. Alright. Ooh, Alpha Note. Okay, Alpha Note says, so, to review, we are reliably informed that members of the Alamigian resistance operating here have taken receipt of several large shipments of crystals. Our task being to ascertain who and why. Given the size of the shipment, I find it hard to believe that anyone here could be wholly unaware of the Resistance's movements. The challenge, of course, will be finding individuals who are both able and willing to share such information with outsiders. It would seem sensible to divide our forces, Nyra. Why don't you question the residents in the eastern half of town? Alize and I will do the same in the west, and afterwards we can rendezvous us here to share our findings. Alright. Right, this way. Do I go up or down? Okay. I got some people to talk to. Stiffrid says, let me guess. Come to join the fight, have you? No need to deny it, friend. You're not the first to answer the Griffin's call. While he's lit a fine fire in every Alamigan's heart, who's also inspired more than a few Uldans to pledge themselves to the cause. A little wonder, the Garleans won't stop until we're all under the yoke. Yeah, those Garleans. Tailbot says, I see you there, going around asking questions, looking for the Griffin and his lot, I'll bet. Seems they're the talk of Lil Alamigo these days. Folk wondering what he's about, what he's got in store for the Galileans, and what's under that mask of his, of course. Some say he's hardly got a face, what with all the scars. Others reckon he's been marked for death by the Empire, and that they'd send a bloody legion if they knew he was here. Your guess is as good as mine. Okay. Well, Teelan says, the Resistance? Damned if I know. It's not as if I'd be any use to him. If you set store by all these tales of secret weapons, good luck to you. But I'm too old for the mask's bedtime stories. This is our lot, and it's time we get used to it. Poor old man should see to that cough. Alright. Nope, that's out. I don't want to go out. I'll go back the way I came. Nope. I get so lost. Okay. Nope. Yeah, here we go. Alphino says, I suppose I should ask what you learned, but I think I already know. Yeah, I didn't learn much. Alphino says, this griffin seems to be the leader of a newly formed faction within the resistance, the Masks. Yet, despite their growing popularity, no one seems to know much about them. Only that they are the most aggressively militant group to join the movement in recent memory. Indeed, many claim their commitment to the cause of Alamegian liberation is unraveled. We can but hope their revolutionary fervor is never channeled in the direction of a primal. Though I feel confident that this is the group which receiveth the crystal shipments, we yet lack proof. Before taking any action, I would speak with the settlement's leader to confirm my suspicions, and mayhap enlist his help while I am about it. Given that you and Gunderbold are already acquainted, mayhap it would be best if you took the lead. Shall we? Okay. I'll go talk to him. It's not so bad once you get on his good side, yo. Hey, Gunderbold. What's up? Gunderbold says, much as it pleases me to see you again, Nyra, I cannot help but wonder if I should be worried. I hear you and yours are asking questions. Yep, you got the right of that. Gunderbold continues, the Griffin, I know of him, as do we all. He and his masks have become a leading faction within the resistance. Though there was suspicion at first, given his secretive ways, he quickly proved himself as a charismatic and capable commander. Men are drawn to his passion and his vision. They truly believe that he has what it takes to lead them to victory. Even I cannot help but admire the man for what he's accomplished. But I have not forgotten Wilred. I was blind to the danger of his ambitions, and you were not. The Griffin will soon deliver a speech to our people at the sunken temple of Cran. Go and see him with your own eyes. Weigh his words with your own heart. Alphino says, how convenient. 'Tis but a pity Thancred is not here to join us. Alize says, you two go on ahead. I shall stay behind and wait for him. Okay, let's go. Where is that temple anyway? Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay. Can I go through here? Yeah, okay, cool. Looks like we had to unlock a dungeon now. My nose is so... Okay, Alphinold. He says, has it begun already? I hear voices coming from within. No, it's not started yet. Oh, speech. Great.
Brothers and sisters, 20 years ago, Alamigo, our home, was claimed by the Garlean Empire. In our haste to overthrow the King of Ruin, we turned a blind eye to our foes in the north. With our glorious revolution, we but laid a path for a new tyrant to succeed the old. And when confronted with our failure, we fled. Not a day goes by that I do not think of those we left behind. Think of them and feel ashamed. And I know each and every one of you feels the same. We abandoned them, our own flesh and blood, to labor till their backs gave in and their breath gave out, building the twisted steel ramparts which now mar our once majestic mountains. We abandoned them, the brave and true, to fight and die for their country, or worse, to be conscripted and sent off to rob another poor bastard of his home. We abandoned them, the meek and powerless, to bow and scrape when the Garleans pass, to sully themselves that they might live to see another day of misery. The Black Wolf may be dead, but a new Imperial Viceroy reigns in Alamigo now. A beast, not a fraction as merciful. You all know the Eorzean Alliance will do naught to oppose him. For all their promises and platitudes, they will not act if there's no profit in it. Only we can free our brothers and sisters from the Empire's tyranny, my friends. Only we have the courage to stand and fight. They have imprisoned us. They have enslaved us, and they have murdered us, but no more! Blood demands blood, and the Garleans shall pay for every drop they have spilt upon our lands. This I promise you, for we have a power within us, my friends. A power befitting our pride, our righteousness. Only join us, and we shall grant you the means to unleash it, and together we shall see the Alamigan standard raised over the mountains of Gyr Abania once more!
A power befitting their pride. Not at all ominous, that. Wait, is that...
Oh, hello.
What are you two doing here?
I could ask you the same thing.
Well, this is quite the surprise.
If you see what I see, if you feel as I feel...
Might I suggest we continue this conversation in more agreeable surroundings?
For it is not strength of arms that will win this battle, but strength of heart.
Alright. Alphonse says, words cannot express how glad I am to see you both alive and well. Yeda says, and you, though it was pretty obvious you and Nyra would be fine. Papalimo says, the Crystal Braves never had a realistic chance of capturing any of the Scions, divided as we were and distrusted by the better part of Erosia. Alphinaud says, but if you truly believe that, forgive me, what exactly have you two been doing all this time? Papalimo says, repaying a favor. After the banquet, we had no choice but to flee Oda, and we would not have been able to do so without the aid of some old friends from the Resistance. Yeda says, that's right. They smuggled us out of the city and sheltered us in Little Alamigo, all at great risk to themselves. Obviously, we couldn't let that go unacknowledged, so we offered to help them out with their operations for a while. Papalimo says, when we learned of the Scion's exoneration, that Lolorito had severed all ties with the Crystal Braves, and that General Rubahan had been reinstated, we resolved to make contact. But having long since discarded our link pearls as a precautionary measure, our options were rather limited. To make matters more complicated, we were embroiled in a delicate operation at the time, leaving me with little choice but to entrust a letter to a courier. I gather from your puzzled expressions, however, that you never received it. Yeda says, to be honest, we thought this might happen. While the masks are happy to let the refugees spread the word within their community, they're pretty strict about communicating with outsiders. Oh, and we also heard a rumor that the Griffin doesn't want us meddling in his affairs. Alphinaud says, the Griffin mistrusts the science of the Seventh Dawn. Alphinaud continues, curious. It is well known that we are no friends to Garlemald. One would think the man we saw beseeching all and sundry to join his cause would welcome our support. Papalimo says, I should say that the man you saw was not in fact the Griffin, but an impostor, and a talented rabble-rouser to boot. It would not surprise me if he were responsible for the majority of these public appearances. As you may have gathered, the Griffin is an extremely cautious and distrusting man who has made every effort to conceal his identity. Even when we participated in a raid under his direct command, we were not permitted to approach him. Yeda says, it's hard to know what to make of it all. The secrecy, the impersonators, the masks. Yeah. Yeda says, what? It's not as if I'm making all of you wear one, and mine only covers half my face. It's completely different. Anyway, when we heard the Griffin was due to give a speech, we thought it might be a good opportunity to get a better sense of the man behind the, man. Papalimo says, for all the good it did. Papalimo continues, and now we have heard the whole of it. But tell me, what prompted you to take an interest in the Griffin? Yeda says, summoning? You're not serious. I can't believe it. Papalimo says, the Resistance would never even entertain such a ridiculous plan, but the Griffin, well, the man is an enigma. I cannot say with any confidence that he would or would not. What I can say, however, is that the speech we heard today was not the first to make reference to a power capable of defeating the Empire. The masks have made many such claims of late. I confess, I had assumed it to be mere bluster, but in the context of the shipments you spoke of, it is not impossible that they are alluding to a primal. Yuta says, whatever it is, we'll find out together, and if anyone tries to stop us, they'll answer to me. Papa Limo says, indeed, that is assuming you'll have us. Of course, Papa Limo. Need you ask? Alright, accept quest. Papa Limo says, if, as you suspect, the Griffin is indeed plotting to summon a primal, we must needs obtain confirmation while there is yet time to act. To that end, I propose you question his double. Given his role as the group's de facto mouthpiece, I should not be surprised if he were one of the Griffin's closest associates. And, while he may not be aware of the most sensitive details, he can probably tell us the mask's plan in broad strokes. Like the man whom he impersonates, however, he is weary of outsiders. He will not expose himself without a suitable incentive. My plan is as follows. You and Ulfenold will pose as adventurers fallen on hard times, inspired by his words to take up arms for a noble cause. Yuta and I, as members of the Resistance, will recount tales of your past achievements and testify as to your usefulness in the struggles ahead. With our enthusiastic assurances still ringing in his ears, he will decide to welcome you in person, and we will arrange a meeting. You will need to look the part that we might maintain this charade. Until we have him cornered, at least. Here. This should be enough to purchase suitable garments from Tailbot, and to have him rub a respectable amount of dirt on them for good measure. Any questions? Wasn't that the old man? Alphanote says, it all seems simple enough, thank you. And with that, Nyra, let us be off. We're all talking in front of this dude. Alright. Oh, wait, I can just port. I'm going to port. Okay. He was over this way. I think he was up, wasn't he? Maybe not. Oh, there he is. Hey, Tailbot. Tailbot says, you want about what? I don't know what you're up to, but I want no part of it. I handed some money. He goes, well, you're the ones to kill, and seeing as you're friends of Papa Limo. There, tunics and slops for both of you. Tailored and treated to your tastes. Now, off with you, before someone sees us together. Alright, Alphanote says, clothes maketh a man, as they say. Right then, I will go and change and see you at the spot Papa Limo marked on our maps. Okay. What? Okay. Do I need... That's not there. The armory? Do I get new... I'm not sure if these are new or not. Honestly. Okay, let me see here. While wearing... Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Okay. Equip and equip. Okay. Okay, off we go. Ears itchy. Alright, Alphinold. You look funny. Alright, Alphinold says, well, look at us. A pair of down-at-heel adventurers seeking a chance to recapture past glories. Yes, this should suffice. And now we play the waiting game. He's wearing sandals. There we go.
My thanks, comrades. You must be the esteemed adventurers of whom I've heard so much. I understand you have taken an interest in our cause.
A great interest, you might say. Your words have certainly made quite an impression on my friend and I. The Resistance has long, and some would say wisely, avoided open engagements with the Garleans, but you and yours seem confident against the world in arms. I can only assume you have good reason to be so bold. Why, one might even think you are planning to summon a primal. Because that would do much to explain the sizable shipment of crystals you recently received from your smuggler friends, whom our Ishgardian allies have since detained, lest you wonder.
What?
I'd like to hear more about the Griffin. The real Griffin. Your performance earlier didn't fool us.
The famous scions of the Seventh Dawn. I should have known better than to think I could conceal the truth from you lot. You are right. I am not the Griffin, but I speak with his voice, and it was at his behest that we procured those crystals. You are wrong, however, if you think that we procured them to summon a primal. We used them to reach an accord with the Amalja. In exchange for crystals to summon their god, they will aid us in the fight for Alamegan liberation.
You've got to be joking. Have you gone completely mad?
No.
When
Not
people
yet.
find out you helped the lizardmen summon Ifrit, they'll turn on the Resistance. Alamigo will never be free.
This isn't a fairy tale, girl. We don't have the luxury to play at being honorable heroes. It's because the likes of you wouldn't sully your saintly hands that Alamigo's been under the yoke for the past 20 years. But the Griffin won't stand for it, and neither will we. We're ready to do whatever it takes.
Ooh, that hit a chord with her.
What proof do you have of this arrangement with the Amaldra?
What? Aside from a lack of crystals? None. But the beastmen have a great big pile of the things if you fancy looking. You might want to hurry, though. It'll not be long before they summon their god. Search our camp if you don't believe me. We have naught to hide.
If there is a cache to be found, Ida and I will find it.
Then let us be off. Are you perchance the Warrior of Light?
Nod. Oh, no, we just surprised face, not nod. Interesting.
I thought so. You should know that a great many who have joined us did so because you saved them. Because you showed them that one brave woman can make a difference. You saved me too once. Helped a friend over in Quarry Mill make some medicine I needed. But that was a lifetime ago.
Huh.
On behalf of my brothers and sisters, I thank you. You gave us hope where there was none, courage and strength when all was lost. We shall not squander your gift.
I know that look, Ida, and I do not like it. You cannot seriously be contemplating taking up arms with that band of cutthroats.
She is.
I just...
If the Griffin and his men have their way, it is only a matter of time before the situation in Alamigo comes to a head. Your homeland's future teeters on a knife edge, and any reckless action, however small, could have irrevocable consequences. You mustn't lose sight of that, Ida. When the time comes, we must all make our choices, but we must do so in full possession of the facts. Now, let us away. There is work to be done.
All right. Offenold says, Quarry Mill, he said. Do you remember? Forgive me, you cannot be expected to recall every name and face. And besides, it's not as if it matters. I have long admired how you live in the present, how you focus on the problems at hand, and always keep moving forward. So, let us keep moving forward together, Nyra. We must find and secure those crystals. This is no time for looking back. Change our clothes back. Alright. Offenote says, if we take the Griffin's double at his word, then the crystals are now somewhere within Zaharak, ready to be put to use by the Alamija. We must apprise Alize of all we have learned. I will join you both in Little Alamigo after I have changed. I've changed already, damn it. Alright, here we go. Thancred finally showed up. Alicia says, now that Thancred has finally arrived, mayhap we could share your latest findings? Thancred says, you mean to tell me that while we were worrying ourselves sick, Yeda and Papalimo were here all along? Well, your Shula will be relieved, and also angry. Mainly angry, I should think. As for the crystals, what choice do we have? We cannot very well leave them in the hands of the Alamija. For all we know, they could be preparing to summon Ifrit, even as we speak. We must make for Zaharak without delay. Alphinaud says, agreed. If there is naught else to discuss, let us depart at once. We all nod to each other. And someone's watching? Oh, yeah, someone's watching. Oh, the masked man is watching. And he says, and so they go forth, in accordance with the Griffin's plan. Masked man says, the players gather to assume their masks on a stage, wreathed in flame. Ere long, the curtain shall rise, and the drama of which I am author, gods forgive me, shall at last be performed. Naught else remaineth save to stand at the ready and pray that the chance is seized, for never shall we know its like again. Alright. Looks like we got another... No, this is a duty. Alphinaud says, I confess I expected a warmer greeting, but we must not jump to conclusions. Not until we have braved the bowl of embers. We must be ready to engage the enemy at any moment. If you would make any final preparations, pray, do so now. I shall await your signal. Okay. Upon proceeding to the Bowl of Embers, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside significant time to view these cutscenes in their entirety. Okay, well, let's proceed.
This isn't right. The Amalja would never leave this place so poorly guarded.
Not willingly, no.
The saviors of Eorzea. Slow as ever.
By the 12. Will you never learn?
You know, you're right. Mayhap it is time for a change of tack. Killing primals, tormenting beastmen, hastening the birth of a new god. It's all a bit much, isn't it? And frankly, we don't have the leisure to do it. But killing the warrior of light, on the other hand, that would soon plunge Eorzea into chaos. One life for one world. A fair exchange. Wouldn't you agree?
Lest you forget, you've more than one opponent.
Carbuncles! Defend me!
Nifty.
I sense you will offer more than mere target practice, unlike your sister.
Alizé!
Did I not tell you, Alphino? I am not the girl I once was. My brother was always the clever one, while my talents lay elsewhere.
No, Watson. Come on.
If you would dare to stand against us, to destroy all that we hold dear, then you shall die by my sword.
Let's finish this.
All right, here we go.
You shall fall soon enough.
There's no escape!
Oh. Hit us one down. You. Uh-oh. What damage to this dude? Yeah. Okay. I'm a little tired of getting hit on. Okay. Oh, I see.
No more games!
Yeah. Not playing. Ow. Hey. What's this? Anchor can't break 3. Yeah, okay. What now?
It ends now.
Oh.
What?
The chains!
You snake! You would betray us as well?
He that holdeth fast unto his convictions shall never count betrayal amongst his crimes, though all the world may call him villain. My path is unchanged, my creed sacrosanct. This I believe with all my heart. But say, warrior of darkness, and speak true, what dost thou believe? That rendering up the souls of thy world in service to the rejoining will grant it salvation? Nay.
By the 12! Oriange!
Mine apologies, Master Alphino. That the brightest light might shine, duty did compel me to walk in darkest shade.
You sweet fool. I was almost willing to believe you had turned against us. I expect a full explanation when this is over. For now, may I assume you have turned your cloak for the last time?
Thou mayest, my lady.
Uh-oh.
By thy leave.
He looks terrifying.
Even odds then. No matter. We'll crush the lot of you in one fell swoop! Understood.
Hearken to me. We only have one chance. Channel your ether into my blade that I might strike before the mage casts his spell. I cannot do it alone, but together we can defeat them.
Okay.
Make ready! They come!
Okay. Here we go. You. Oops, wrong button.
The ether! Ugh, it's not enough!
How do I get more? I don't know. Okay. Do I have more of it? Fine, you. How, I don't know how. Damn it. How am I supposed to do this? Yeah. Here we go. Found it.
I can feel it. Just a little more.
Bear.
Uh-oh.
I'll crush you.
Okay, nope. Okay. Ouch. Okay. Sword's back. Who's attacking me? You are. Okay. There we go. Okay. No more interruptions. There we go.
'Tis done! With this blade I banish the darkness!
Sweet!
No. Not like this.
Alize, are you hurt?
A touch dizzy, but otherwise fine. Thank you.
And there you have it. Our friend is too stubborn to die.
We are far from finished. Or have you never considered how we came to this world?
Crystals? You mean, like the Asians?
Just so. As the Asians flee unto the rift twixt plains with crystals of darkness, so did these warriors come hither with crystals of light.
Eloquent, as always. Aye, like the Asians, we too are beyond death. You cannot defeat that which is eternal.
Wait! Such methods as the Asians employ require the renunciation of the flesh. You would have had to...
At long last you see. To save our world, we gave our lives.
We've been fighting with ghosts.
We were just adventurers trying to make our way. In our job here, faded there, we never aspired to be warriors of light. But word of our deeds
Hey!
spread,
Thank
and
you.
soon people were calling us heroes. They placed their hopes and dreams on our shoulders and bid us fight for all that was good and right.
Appreciate the follow.
We fought, and we fought, and we fought, until there was no one left to fight.
I'm doing alright. How about
We
you?
won. And now our world is being erased from existence. We did everything right. Everything that was asked of us, and
Hey,
still,
no problem.
still
I'm
it
glad you're
came to
doing
this.
good.
You of all people should understand. We cannot, we will not falter. We brought our world to the brink of destruction, and now we must save it.
I've died before, Arbet. I'm not afraid to die again.
No matter how many times we fall, we must arise and carry on the fight for those we left behind.
To have known the depths of sorrow and embraced the highest sacrifice. Nonetheless, Master Louis Sois, guide my hand, I pray you, as fate's thread spinneth upon this most capricious spindle. Quickly! Thou must needs invoke the power of thy crystal.
What is this place?
Such pain. Such sorrow. Oh, my dear children.
It can't be.
Mother Heidelin, hearken unto your children's plea. From two worlds do we gather, and from two worlds do we offer a bounty of light. In this desperate hour we do beseech your intercession. We beg an audience with the word of the Mother, with your chosen Minfilia.
Your cries go not unheard, nor your sacrifices unnoticed. Though many are lost, there are those we can yet save, whom I can yet save.
Minfilia.
Blessed children of the First, the light of your world hath grown blinding in its radiance, but it is not yet absolute. I will hie me to your world, and there take unto myself the light which riseth even now to drown it, as darkness once did drown another.
Now you deign to answer our prayers? I will suffer this farce no longer!
As the Asians must serve as instruments of Zodiark's will, so too must others carry out the will of Hydaelyn. But for the boon you have granted her, she has grown strong enough to set me free, that I might serve as her emissary. Your suffering, your sacrifice, your supplications, she has heard all. We will not let the first fall to light. Thank you, Urianger, for bringing everyone here. It fills my heart with joy to look upon the faces of my friends once more.
In taking you unto her bosom, I knew that Hydaelyn had bequeathed to you a sliver of her grace, granting you strength longsword. And in treating with the Asians, I learnt of a star like unto our own, a doomed world of fallen heroes, in whom I glimpsed ourselves, the first. Full long did I search for a means to save this world, concluding at the last that the answer lay in the power of blessed crystals. And thus did I labor to set light against dark. Yet I knew from the beginning that this salvation would not come without sacrifice. For the instrument of the first's deliverance would of necessity be required to journey thither, there to remain, mayhap forever.
You orchestrated all of this, not to save her, but to send her away!
One life for one world. Such was the bargain, and you the coin, though it were not mine to spend.
Have we not walked together in the light of the crystal, and at her bidding borne witness to the joys and sorrows of this land? Each and every one of you knows my heart. If this be the price I must pay, I pay it gladly.
You would go alone, then?
My dearest Thancred, You who have ever watched over me, I am truly grateful for all you have done on my behalf, as would my father be. Your kindness, your compassion, your love. These are your gifts to me, and our gifts to them, forming a bond which transcends time and space.
Sometimes I forget you are not the child I once knew. Make me proud.
Long have I watched you from Heidellin's side, watched as you nurtured and kept safe the light of the dawn. The dark recesses of the world hide untold secrets and dangers. Thus do I entrust to you, Tupsimati. I pray you, keep to the path that you may never have need of it.
Twould seem the power of our crystals is all but spent. Perhaps, if there is naught else to be done.
Hear me, servants of Heidelin. If you would have us place our trust in you, then I would ask a favor. Take us with you. Take us home. We were blind to the truth once, so I tell you this, as one fool to another. Light, dark, it doesn't matter. What matters is how you choose to use them. We made our choice and you see what came of it, so please, forge a different path. Seize a better fate.
It is a strange feeling. So many times have I watched you depart, my heart filled with worry. And ever did you return to me in triumph. Someday, when I have found a way to free this star from her sorrow, I promise you I shall repay the favor.
Okay. Alpha Note says, it would seem we are in Southern Thanalan again. Mephilia is doing, no doubt. May the 12 speed her on her way, and the warriors of darkness too. I cannot help but wonder what awaits these weirwood souls. If they gave their lives in order to travel to the source, then in returning to the first, would they not? But mayhap that was their wish. Rhea. Huh. Alpha Note says, forgive me, my thoughts were elsewhere, and this when I know full well there is yet work to be done. The crystals. Tancred says, leave them to me. I will go back to Zaharark and secure them. The Almeja will still be in disarray after the thrashing the warriors of darkness gave them. They are not like to notice a lone bard skulking about. Alphinaud says, but Tancred, you... Tancred says, don't have to do this, I know, but I want to. I will see you at the Rising Stones. Hiccups, sorry. Alphinaud says, I should go and find Yida and Papalimo. They must have finished searching the masked camp by now. Not that it matters anymore. Alize says, you must be tired, Nyra. I know I am. Orionje says, if thou wilt permit me, my lady, I would ask a question. When didst thou become aware of mine independent pursuits? Alize says, when I saw you meeting with that warrior of darkness and the Asian in white at the great library. I tried not to think the worst. You've never been one to confide in others, so I knew that even were your intentions pure, you would not share your plans with us until you felt the time was right. But I cannot deny that part of me feared you had simply betrayed us. Orionje says, would that there had been another way. Know that I took no pleasure in deceiving thee, and that these sins will forever weigh heavy on my heart. Alize says, I understand why you did what you did, but... why you did what you did? That you but sought to achieve the greatest good while inflicting the least harm. Not many would have courage to take that choice. But even knowing that, even knowing what came of your actions, I find that I cannot condone them. I'm sorry. Nyra, forgive me, but I believe the events of the day have taken their toll on me. I should like to rest for a while. Orionje says, if thou wilt grant me leave, I would gladly escort thee onto a refuge of thine own choosing. Once my lady hath regained her strength, we shall join thee at the Rising Stones. Until then, warrior of light. Alright, speak with Papa Lumo. But where am I? Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna teleport. is spawned? Oh no, it's not the one I want. That's the wrong quest. Let's climb it. Okay, where am I going? I need to go outside. There we go. Alright, Papa Limo. We have a cutscene. Oh. Papa Limo says, "Well met, Nyra. Wulfenshade said you would be joining us." 'Twould seem the Griffin's double was telling the truth, insofar as we found nothing resembling a sizable cache of crystals in the Mask's camp. Did you perchance find one in Zahark? Wulfenshade says, "Actually," and fills them in. Yida says, "I don't believe it. The crystals, Memphilia, all of it. It's just, I don't know what it is." Wulfenshade says, "I sympathize, Yida. Even now I struggle to comprehend that which I saw. The only thing I could say with any certainty is that I feel blessed to have been granted a final chance to speak with her. 'Twas bittersweet, aye, but also affirming." Papa Limo says, "Wulfenshade, I believe it is past time Yida and I rejoined the Scions. We have been away for far too long. Though I am loath to leave the Griffin to his own devices, I feel our investigation would benefit from your more dispassionate perspectives. And I hope that we might, in turn, offer our own opinions on the many challenges that you have faced in our absence." Yida says, "Gods, it's been absolutely ages, hasn't it? I can't wait to hear what everyone's adventures." Wulfenshade says, "We should be glad to recount them, and Tataru's tales may well surprise you." Gundobald says, Yida? Regal be praised, it is you! Yida alive and standing here before me in the flesh. I can hardly believe my eyes." Yida says, Gundobald says, "Oh, come on now. Has it really been so long you don't remember me? It's Gundobald. I fought beside your father in the revolution." Gundobald continues, "Do not think less of her, friends. It's been 20 years since the occupation sent us our separate ways, but the resistance were always welcomed in Lila Alamigo. They gave us hope, and young Yida most of all. Yida here was always full of fire, ever the first to volunteer for a mission, until the day she up and vanished, that is. There were rumors, and we feared the worst, but here you are, alive and well, looking nay a day older." He just says, well, what can I say? I'm sorry for running off like that and making you all worry. It's a long story, but you see, I got involved with my friends here, the Scions. Oh, sorry, we were still the circle of knowing back then, right? Anyway, I wanted to come back and tell you, but it was all very secretive stuff at the time, and, as you can see, I'm completely fine. I know we've got a lot to talk about, and we will, but Right now, I've got to hurry back to our headquarters. My friends are expecting me. Yeah, that was a quick runoff. Papa Limo says, "Pray, forgive her. It's been a very long day for us all. I promise we will visit again at the first opportunity." Papa Limo turns to us and says, "Let us return to the Raisin Stones." Papa Limo, talking to himself after everybody leaves. "Hells take me for giving you that mask." Okay, here we go. Hail Alphinold. Alphinold says, "Welcome home, Nyra. I trust your journey was uneventful. You will be pleased to hear that Thancred has secured the crystals. He sent word a short while ago. Once he has delivered them safely into the Temple Knight's care, he will rejoin us here, and we can declare this matter officially resolved. While awaiting your arrival, I took the opportunity to contact Y'shtola and Krill and brief them on all that has occurred. I also requested that they return to the Rising Stones at the earliest convenience. Now that our lost friends have been found, it would seem meet to discuss the future." All right.
Back in the Solar. It's been too long since we were all together like this. Not since after Moonbraider.
Much has changed since then. We ourselves, most of all.
Though not all who were lost could be gathered here today, we may take comfort in the knowledge that those who are not are carrying on the fight.
While I am grateful to our friends in the north for their hospitality, it isn't half good to be back.
But, as Papalima rightly said, much has changed since we last stood here. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are not as they once were, nor should we be. Our travels in the north brought us into contact with a host of fine and generous people, and their selfless deeds serve to show me that it is not lofty causes that should inform our actions, but our hearts. And I hope that the Scions might continue in this manner, as individuals driven by individual principles. Provided we all sincerely desire to work towards Eorzea's salvation, I believe the paths we follow to achieve it need not, and should not, be dictated by any single ideal.
Companions bound by a common purpose, free to go whither they will. The idea is not without merit. Very well. I shall resume my research of the primals and the elder gods of Eorzea. Should anyone have need of my findings, you need only ask. I should be glad of your continued assistance.
Well, my main purpose in coming here was to see the signs of the Seventh Dawn restored and my dear friend found. Nevertheless, having involved myself in your struggles, I feel compelled to see them through to the bitter end. For Minfilia's sake.
That is, if there are no objections.
No objections from me.
You will always be welcome here, Kryl.
Gyr, can we trust you to carry on your investigation of the Asians as before?
Regardless of mine own desires, I am undeserving of your trust, having so villainously deceived you all.
Now, I'll hear no more of that. It would be disrespectful of Minfilia's wishes. She entrusted matters here to us, that we might protect this star and understand the truth which hides at her heart. Mayhap I can handle the former, but I think you far better suited to the latter. No?
Very well. Then out of love for my Lady Minfilia and Moonbreeder both, this shall be my solemn charge.
Papalimo and I should probably return to Thanalan to keep an eye on the Resistance. There's still the matter of the Griffin and the Amalja, not to mention the new Imperial Viceroy. That little lot must be worthy of our attention, right?
And what will you do, Alize?
You know I have no great love for organizations and formalities. That being said, this new approach you propose is not wholly objectionable, and we've always got her to keep us from bickering. But I will suffer no titles. I am not here for House Leveilleur, nor to walk in Grandfather's shadow.
Upon that point, we see eye to eye. If it please you, you may think of me as but another comrade in arms.
Well then, Alfie, I for my part shall see to the paperwork and the finances with my characteristic aplomb.
I would not have it any other way, Tataru. And we mustn't forget you. What now for the Warrior of Light?
Okay, I have 4 choices. What do I say? First choice is a new adventure. What else? Second, the road goes ever on. Third, to strive for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. And fourth, dots. So 1, 2, 3, or 4. What should I say? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the tail. Oh, okay. 4.
Indeed.
The path behind us was fraught with hardship, and the path before us will be no less unforgiving. But a new dawn shall break over the realm, and I see before me the faces of those who will deliver it.
Wulfenshade says, "Look at them, Nyra. The science of the seventh dawn. Look how far we've come. The people we've met, the moments we've shared, the losses we've suffered, and the tragedies we've overcome. All of this has made us who we are today. Where we go from here and what the future holds, only the 12 know. But I know that we will find out together." Alright.
One world's heroes are another world's villains. One world's loss, another world's gain. Where men go as one, there is life. And where there is life, my friends, if I may, I would ask that you entrust Tuximati to me. Clouds gather upon the horizon, and as Master Louisoix's disciple, I would keep it close at hand. Thank you. I shall guard it well.
See that you do, Papillimo.
There is cause to hope. For every ending, every parting, marks a new beginning.
Oh, hey, stop talking. Okay, the Griffin says, "Well done, brother. You may resume your normal duties and rejoin the others. The coming battle shall be our greatest yet, and I intend to stand with you all on that glorious day." Elidibus says, "True believers are so readily led." The Griffin says, "I have given them everything they desired, all for which they have prayed. I doubt you can say the same for your pawns." Get what you wanted, then. Was it all worth it in the end? Elidibus says, "There were some unexpected developments, but they were ultimately to our advantage. Be it host to a sure felt of light or dark, the world bereft of equilibrium is but a void in waiting, and a void is of no use to my master. I shall follow her emissary with great interest. As for the pawns whom you so pity, They have delivered unto me a gift, which I do now present to you. Oh, that can't be good. That would be Nidhogg's eyes. Elidibus continues, the eyes of Nidhogg. Many were the candidates considered, but by your deeds, you have proven yourself the most deserving. Elidibus continues, a man of boundless rage and bottomless despair, in whose breast beats a heart which thirsts for vengeance. Only you are fit to wield these eyes. For weald or for foe, or for weald or for woe. Question mark says. So it was here all along. Oh, it's you. Neo told Scavia says, oh, just you wait, my pretty. You and I are going to have so much fun. All right. Alright, and that'll be all for today. So, yep, till next time. I'll see y'all later. So, peace and wreak havoc, and have a good one wherever you are. See you tomorrow.